What I'm about to share is so ridiculously simple, something you actually already know that can awaken you to a new reality instantly and keep you in it, provided that you stop training yourself to forget it, which I'll get to. Instead of thinking of manifesting as creating and attracting stuff that you do not currently have, you can think of manifesting as simply becoming aware and appreciative of everything that is here for you now, everything that you do currently have, in other words, everything that you currently have and enjoy, not everything you currently have and wish would be different. That isn't some bait and switch either. It isn't some hocus pocus to trick you into complacency, which, by the way, is something I talk more about later in the video, so bear with me. The real bait and switch is the illusion of the physical world, and it can be compelling. A lot of people are under the illusion that they want things such as money or a lover or a perfect body because having those things makes them happy, and that not having those things makes them unhappy. And so when it comes to things like money or relationships or success of any kind, they have beliefs that are aligned with that perspective, with that illusion. They think that in order to make money or to attract people they love or to recover and maintain their health, they must do things, make sacrifices. That is how much of the world operates. It is also not the only way. To be happy is actually your natural state. To be free, to be prosperous and healthy and loving is your natural state. Your body, for instance, heals. It is a self-healing organism. Your body heals not because of anything that you do, but because you are alive. Not because of anything you do, but because of what you are. Not because of any medicine you take. Medicine has no effect on a dead corpse. To be happy and healthy is your natural state, and for you to withhold happiness from yourself, to make a sacrifice of your own happiness, is to exercise your freedom of thought and expression. Withholding happiness from yourself is an exercise of freedom on your part. It's a choice. When you do not withhold happiness from yourself, you are in your natural state of feeling happy. Happiness is like air. It's everywhere, and you can't exactly hoard it. You benefit from it most when it is in circulation, which is what keeps it fresh. You know what else is like air and that has currency? Money. Withholding happiness in the so-called service of some greater good is a choice, just like choosing not to spend your money and stashing it away under lock and key is a choice. People say things like, I really don't enjoy doing this, but I have to do it. I hate my job, but I have to do it. No, you don't. You don't have to do it. Nobody is forcing you to do it. I don't know what else to do though, people say. Also not true. You are the only one who knows what you want. Next come the buts. But my parents told me blah, blah, blah. But my doctor told me blah, blah, blah. But my teacher, but my brother, but my children, but my neighbor and his girlfriend and their children, but my therapist, but my lawyer, blah, 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 blah. Years ago, a young girl once said to me, I want to be just like you. And she said it with such love and affection and admiration. And at the time, I did feel flattered. I took it as a compliment, as I believe was the intent. But at the same time, I wondered why. You are wonderful just as you are, and you are going to grow up to be your own person. You, whoever you are, you have something that nobody can ever take from you, something that is uniquely yours and that can never be diminished without your consent. And that something is not even capable of being seen, heard, smelled, tasted, or touched because it is the essence of you, your consciousness, your unique perspective, your unique experience. No one else can ever truly stand in your shoes. Not your family, not your best friend, and Definitely not your therapist or lawyer. Not even your genetically identical twin can hijack your mind and take possession of your soul. Something that a not insignificant number of people do with their energy is to direct it in the pursuit of accumulating possessions and wealth. Money is like air, though. Money that is accumulated for the sake of accumulating it, money that is stashed away and hoarded, in other words, is like stale air. What is the point of having money if it isn't to spend it on things that are personally meaningful to you? Everything is energy. Everything moves. Water flows. Fire burns. Galaxies spin. Everything has momentum. Everything is alive, including you. What you want isn't just to have money. You want to have it and spend it and flow it and receive the benefit of it, and in so doing, benefit others in ways that may or may not be apparent to you. Whatever it is you do, and since you're here watching this video, I'll use that as an example. You could watch this video in the mood of, this is a good use of my time. I am happy to be here, right here, doing exactly what I am doing now. Or you could watch this video in the mood of, this is a stupid waste of time. I am procrastinating so hard on things that I should be doing. I feel so guilty and useless. Now let's put this into the context of money. You could do whatever it is you are doing, whether it's scrubbing toilets and changing nappies, being a professional bean counter in a corporate office, writing a novel, or reading a novel while you're lying on a beach somewhere, sipping fresh coconut water, in the mood of, this is a good use of my time. I am happy to be here, right here, doing exactly what I am doing right now. Or you could do any number of those things in the mood of, this is a stupid waste of time. I am procrastinating so hard on things I should be doing. I feel so guilty and useless. I could be doing so much better, blah, blah, blah. There is an option that is always available to you. You are always free to choose it or to ignore it. And that is the option to be fully present without needing to escape from anything that is here in the present, without needing to change or needing things and other people to change, without needing full stop. When you do not need, you are in your natural state of being happy, regardless of the picture that your three-dimensional physical reality is presenting to you. You are fully aware of what is quote-unquote going on, and you are appreciative of it instead of resentful or regretful or unfulfilled, even if you have desires that have yet to manifest in physical form. Some people think that if they do not worry about the things they want, then they won't get what they want. They don't take into account, they forget that freedom from worry is why they think they want the things they want to begin with. They say things like, if you really want to stop worrying about and even thinking about money, then you need to have a lot of it. When there is a clear alternative, which is to simply stop worrying and thinking about money. The problem with that, though, is that when someone tells you to stop worrying and thinking about something, what's the first thing you think of? The first thing you think of is probably the thing you're not supposed to be thinking about. The more you decide not to think about money, the more you think about it and let it worry you and consume your thoughts, which is why a spiritual practice is so helpful. To have a practice of just being still and allowing things to be as they are. To have a practice of knowing and appreciating that nothing outside of you can disturb your inner peace, that you are the only one who can give your power away, that you are free. You can allow the numbers on your bank statement to aggravate your feelings of insecurity and you don't have to. You can allow yourself to be influenced by reality because you are always the one in control. I love knowing that. I get to choose who has influence over me. I get to choose what to direct my passion and inspiration and interest and curiosity toward. This is a choice that everyone has. Someone might say things you don't like hearing. They might tell you to do things you don't want to do. It takes however long it takes, but life experience eventually teaches you what words alone cannot. I'll say it anyway. Life experience eventually teaches you that you are free. You are always free and you never run out of options. You are never stuck. You are never trapped. Being stuck and feeling trapped are the ultimate illusion of this physical world. It's why many people feel resentful and unhappy and despondent. And that's why having a spiritual connection can be so empowering if you let it. It allows you to be happy in your now without having to even lift a finger, without having to do a thing. You might be thinking, that's complacency, that's laziness. You know what complacency and laziness really are? Complacency and laziness, dun dun dun, are words that people use to diminish and condemn what is your natural state. Complacency and laziness are a negative spin on the state of being happy and content. How dare you be happy and content? That's what people mean when they accuse anyone of being lazy and complacent. The real reason people don't want you to be lazy and complacent is so that you will behave in a way that is in alignment with their selfish desires instead of with your selfish desires. Isn't that interesting? They will tell you it's for your own good, which actually happens to be their interpretation of what would be for your own good. I mentioned earlier in the video that you train yourself to forget what you once knew, what you already know. You train yourself to forget that you are free, and this is how you do it. You forget your own freedom every time you allow yourself to follow the momentum of someone else's thoughts and beliefs instead of following your own bliss. The point isn't that you should never be influenced. The point is that whatever you do or don't do, you are free. You act of your own volition. You do not, quote unquote, have to do anything. The source within you is infinite, limitless in supply. There is never any shortage. There is no shortage of money and there is no shortage of poverty either. Both money and poverty are ideas, intangible concepts. Poverty will never be eradicated and money will never be exhausted. You know why? Because both poverty and money are human inventions, human perspectives. The more you notice the absence of things and your need for them, the more you notice their absence and your need of them. The more you notice the presence of things and your appreciation of them, the more you enjoy your experience of life and the more content and satisfied you feel. You can be rich and happy and generous, and you can be rich and miserable and mean and spiteful. You can be poor in terms of material possessions and experience the exact same spectrum of emotions that a rich person does. Your range of emotions has nothing to do with your possessions or how much money you have. Your capacity to feel has to do with the fact that you are human and alive and conscious. You are always free, and since the basis of your existence is freedom, what do you choose to do? You can earn money in the service of others. That is an option. Enjoying abundance and making big bucks, as well as to enjoy genuine contentment and prosperity, can just as easily align with a version of you who has fun and enjoys exploring the things you are truly passionate about. A version of you who feels like the luckiest person alive. It's not a question of doing things for love or money, unless that is how you frame it. You can do what you love and get paid for it, unless you convince yourself that it is impossible. Everything is possible unless you argue for your limitations. And that's great news, because you are the one who chooses whether to argue for your limitations or whether to surrender to unconditional joy and to follow your own bliss.